Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Margaret Hollis.
And I'm student meteorologist Sammy Squires.
Here with this Friday edition. It's March, it's meteorological spring, and it actually feels like spring now instead of summer.
Yeah, we're feeling much cooler than we have been the last few days, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been near record heat the last couple of days, but now we're back down towards a seasonal temperature since we had a cold front come through yesterday.
Yeah, it's very pleasant outside. If you haven't been outside, you'll have plenty of chances to get outside this weekend because it's going to be just like today.
I was loving walking around campus today. This morning as we were coming over here to work on our new graphics that will be debuting sometime next week, so look out for that.
And this is our last Friday show until our spring break as well.
So we've got a lot going on this show with a lot of crazy weather across the country, but some absolutely gorgeous weather here around the Tallahassee area, which is going to make for some fun events to talk about later on in the show.
Definitely. And there's plenty of snow up in the north and the west coast too, and ice as well.
Yeah, lots of weather to talk about this show, so we hope you'll stay tuned for the rest of the show because it's going to be a very busy show. We've got our trivia answer as always. We'll have all of our usual segments, and we'll be talking about some other cool stuff that's been going on lately. But now we're going to send things out to the wall with Sarah for a look at our overview to get a little bit more of a preview of what's going on.
Thanks, guys. So right now it's really nice outside. We're actually seeing spring-like temperatures here in the Tallahassee area. Right now we're sitting in the 70s. Tallahassee at 74, Quincy at 72, Apalachicola is at a little bit warmer at 79 since they're at the coast, but pretty nice temperatures throughout the Big Bend area. And as you go to that water vapor, you can see that as that cold front moved through, that high pressure is moving into our area, bringing all that dry air, so you'll probably need your chapstick as you go on through your week. But you can see that beautiful counterclockwise motion as you can actually see in the radar here. You can see that cloud cover bringing that clockwise motion, making it really nice outside, bringing us clear skies, sunshine, and really nice temperatures for the rest of the week ahead. And for tonight's forecast, though, it is 40 degrees, so it's a bit chilly out. So if you do go out, make sure you have maybe a light jacket. It might be a little bit cooler if you do not like the cold. But it's going to be a really nice night, very clear sky. So if you do want to enjoy the night, you can see the moon, see the stars. It'll be a really nice night to go outside. But later in the show, we're going to talk about these wonderful, weather that we're going to be seeing. Clear skies, return of seasonal temperatures, so get outside this weekend because we're going to have really nice temperatures for the rest of the week and on through the weekend ahead. But for now, I'm going to send it over to the lab with Sammy with our trivia question.
Thank you, Sarah. So this is the trivia question from yesterday, and we are going to debut the answer as well. So when did GOES 16, formerly known as GOES R, launch? Your dates were October 17th, 2016, November 19th, December 18th, 2017, or January 20th, 2018. And the answer to that was C, November 19th, 2016. So that was last year, and we also had the satellite that launched earlier today. So that's pretty exciting news for the GOES satellite as well. But now we are going to take a look for our next segment of the Southeast Local.
Thanks, Amy. So it's me again. So hey guys, so here in Tallahassee area, we're up in the pretty nice spring-like temperatures, 74 in Tallahassee, as I said, and Thomasville at 72 as well. So really nice temperatures through the Big Bend area in those 60s. Feeling those nice spring-like temperatures that we actually been desperately, well, for me in general, I think for most of the public, we want these cool temperatures since it's been really hot and above temperatures. For today's almanac, we are a little bit above the average, but we're actually close to it. We're not like 20 degrees off. We're actually really close. At our high today was 74. The average is 71 and our low was 57, so really nice. We're getting closer to our average temperatures that we really should be seeing in the month of March. So it's really nice, so go out and enjoy those temperatures. But for our current winds, we're pretty much coming from the north, from behind that cold front that did move into our area, not really bringing that rain, but bringing these cool temperatures that I know a lot of us are enjoying here in the Tallahassee area. Tallahassee at 10 miles per hour, Quincy at 6. So pretty breezy out if you go out through your day. So with ladies, make sure you probably should have your hair up because it's going to be blowing all over the place as you go on through your day. For our current dew point, as that cold front move through without low pressure, a high pressure is moving in. Since they're BFFs, they have to follow each other. So we're pretty much in a dry area, 36 in Tallahassee, 35 in St. Mark's. So as I said, you probably will need your chapstick as you go out through your day, but pretty nice temps. Pretty dry, not really seeing that mugginess that we've been seeing through the rest of the week, so getting a break from those mugginess. But as that cold front moves through, we have that high pressure sitting right here, bringing in that nice clear skies for us, so bringing us nice temperatures throughout the rest of the week, and pretty much slowing through as we get to the rest of the Florida. But for now, we're at 60% chance we're actually going to be below average of temperatures, which is really crazy because before we were above average. So this is really nice to see that we're actually going to be seeing spring-like temperatures in the Florida area, so really nice temps. But for tonight, it's going to be 40, as I said, so it's going to be a bit chilly out as you go out through your night, but pretty nice if you go out through your day. We will be a bit breezy at 5 miles per hour, so it's going to keep those temperatures at a cool for the night. Since it is a clear sky night, it's going to bring those temperatures down. But for tomorrow's forecast, enjoy the weekend. We're here. We finally made it through the month of March. We're halfway through the year of school. So it's going to be 72 for that high, a beautiful sunny day, comfortable temperature. So if you want to go out to the res, go out and suntan on Landis, or go to the pool, do it because these temperatures are really nice. So please enjoy these temperatures because as we go on through the rest of the week, pretty much nice temperatures throughout. 72s, we're seeing 30s again. So those cooler temperatures coming in. But as for Tuesday, we will see another cold front come through our area, bringing those temperatures down again. So watch out for on Tuesday when we will see a 70% chance of rain. So if you do go out to your classes, make sure you bring an umbrella because it may be wet as you go out. But for now, I'm going to send it over to Sammy.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. So what we are looking at in this picture is the southeast flooding over in Alabama. So they received, I think it was a little over 1.5 inches in this particular area, but we will take a look at those numbers in a second. So throughout the southeast, we are actually fairly decent outside. I mean, temperatures ranging from 58, 56 degrees over in Atlanta, all the way down to Key West, of course, 80 degrees. But pretty sunny, a little bit of clouds, you know, here in Tallahassee and New Orleans, but it is actually making a beautiful night here in the southeast. So here's the rainfall from the last 48 hours. We had that high being a little bit over 2.5 inches. Here's a little rock. So this is our bullseye of the rain throughout our southeast. So this is Huntsville. This is where that picture was actually taken. So like I said, just a little bit over 1.5 inches. So that range went from Montgomery not having much rain at all, just a little bit northwest, 2.5 inches. So it has been big rainfall since the last 48 hours. But behind that front includes, this is the freeze watch here in north of Georgia. And of course, we have still some flood warnings going on in towards the west. But our satellite and radar here pretty much throughout the majority of the southeast, not much on it. There's just a little bit of cloud coverage, but not much on our radar for the next few days as well. So also behind this front, you can see the winds are coming out of the north. Pretty strong winds, especially in Atlanta, 21 miles per hour. And Tupelo also 13 miles per hour. So pretty high winds. Nothing like the northeast is getting right now, but you are feeling an impact if you are in the southeast. And we have some rain this weekend coming our way, but pretty much just a little under an inch, half inch, and just a little bit of rain going into Florida as well. And we also have our forecast for tonight, starting to get a little chilly, whereas Atlanta, they are going to be close to that freeze watch, 35 degrees. Tupelo, Kansas, Tupelo is 32 degrees, and ranging all the way to Orlando of 53 degrees for tonight. So pretty chilly for your night forecast, but into tomorrow makes beautiful conditions. Montgomery 70 degrees, Little Rock 66, but pure sun everywhere. But into Sunday's forecast, you are also going to see some similar conditions as well, but pretty warm throughout the majority of the southeast throughout the weekend.
Yeah, so you were talking to the public about how the Northeast is actually getting some interesting weather from Winter Storm Riley, which actually became a bombogenesis, which basically means for us Floridians, we don't really know what that term means. It's like, what's a bombogenesis? Like, what does that mean? Well, basically it means an intensification of that low pressure system that's sitting over there as that storm sits over there, 24 millibars in 24 hours, so the pressure dropped very drastically. So it's basically like a hurricane when it intensifies really quickly, like with Hurricane Wilma and Hurricane Irma. So that's basically what they're seeing up there.
Yeah, so this bombogenesis can also be called Riley, like you were saying, but it could go by either terms. It's also just a severe winter storm going on throughout the Northeast, and we have snow accumulations and ice and even rain throughout. Even Boston is getting tons of rain right now as we're speaking.
It's basically a very serious situation that they're seeing up there with coastal floodings. Lots of people, thousands of people are out of power up there, so they're really seeing a lot of like crazy weather up there from that low pressure and that cold front moving through.
And another thing to keep note of is the wind. The wind is very intense throughout the Northeast, even into the Atlantic Ocean, wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour.
And for you to kind of compare what that means to 75 miles per hour, it's basically like a Cat 1 hurricane or a tropical storm is sitting over their area bringing all those winds. So that's really crazy for the Northeast to see. Especially this time of year, yeah.
Well, especially with that, the wind and the snow blowing, that is some serious cold, serious cold issues that you are feeling if you are outside. So if you are going up north, please do not try to go outside. I mean, it's going to be very chilly outside.
Yeah, so please stay safe. But for now, we're going to send it over to the wall with our national with Margaret.
Thanks, Sarah. I've always thought it would be cool to travel up to the Northeast in winter, but not during a storm. Maybe a couple days afterwards once the roads are cleared up. But there's still some snow to play with. Across the country, we can see how the cold front that came through and was part of that system that is hammering the Northeast has brought our temperatures back down around towards what our seasonal temperatures should be, around 70 degrees right now. But it's cold up in the Northeast, 46 in D.C., 40 in Boston, with that rain up there. Meanwhile, on the West Coast, Salt Lake City, cloudy skies, 45. Southern half of the country is looking nice and moderately warm, but not too warm. It's spring, not summer right now across the country. Our national satellite and radar, there is one low pressure system off the West Coast. You can really see a nice defined swirl to that system there. And of course the one we've been talking about off the East Coast again has a similar swirl to it, and it's really bringing a lot of rain, snow, and other mixed precipitation to the New England area, so that is really something to be watching. It's also making for some crazy weather. Our watches and warnings graphic here, we've got the freeze warning for North Georgia after the cold front, but then as we go further north, we've got all these storm warnings, everything else out there, some red flag advisories through the middle of our country, and winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings for the Intermountain West out near Salt Lake City. I'm going to step off here and click near Boston in that white area because that is a hurricane force wind warning, which basically just says that the winds here in the area off the Massachusetts coastline near Boston, they're getting winds equally as strong as a hurricane there. So in excess of 75 miles an hour, getting up potentially even into those 80-mile-an-hour area for the winds. Very strong winds there off the Massachusetts coastline up to that hurricane force level, which is really making things very windy up there, and it's a very severe state that they're in there. Now, as we keep moving on here, we're going to take a zoomed-in look at both the West Coast low. You can see the real spin there. There's a little bit of occlusion in the fronts going on there. And we're going to fly across the country real fast. Another look at the East Coast low here. rain mostly in the Boston area, but as you get into New York, New Jersey, and eastern Pennsylvania, there is some snow going on. And as that west coast low moves towards the east, it will bring a chance for some severe weather on Sunday for the Great Plains. But now we are going to try and get to the next couple of days across the country, where we'll see that a lot of the country really cools off tonight, but then warms up really nice tomorrow. But now I'm going to hand it off to Sammy for Local 2.
Thank you, Margaret. So we are taking a look at the current conditions throughout the majority of Florida going into Georgia as well. 63 degrees over in Macon, Georgia. And Tallahassee, just a little bit warmer, 71 degrees and 74 over in Panama City, but sunshine everywhere. I mean, we're the Sunshine State for a reason here in Florida. But that satellite also reassures what I was saying. Not much going on throughout the majority of our southeast area. Just a little bit of cloud coverage, but nothing going up into our time right now. We do have winds, though, coming from the north, a little bit into the northwest in certain parts of Georgia, but enough to really start to feel those effects of that wind. 16 miles per hour in Macon, 10 miles per hour over in Pensacola by the coast. They are feeling a light wind over at the beach there as well, and even into Tampa area as well, 10 miles per hour over in Tampa, as well as here in Tallahassee. And we could also feel that dew point, pretty comfortable outside, kind of dry, where you could see 33 over in Gainesville, 36 over in Tallahassee, and even into Panama City, just a little bit higher than us. But you can see this green is the moisture, so that's pretty much just along the coast of Florida. So as you can see that this dew point is sitting right in that dry phase where we'd like to be in that pleasant, comfortable dew point range, but I'll take dry. I mean, it's still, anything is better than that moderate to oppressive stage as well. And we also can take a look at our 3-day planner forecast. So here in Tallahassee, we have basketball and baseball. You could see 2 p.m. Saturday, it's going to be 79 degrees. So make sure you have that sunscreen if you were out at that game, as well as 6 p.m. on Saturday, we have baseball, and it will be 65 degrees, so a little bit cooler. It'll cool off very nice here, and even into Sunday, 67 degrees for that game as well on Sunday. And we also have the forecast for tomorrow. Here, let me click this up here. There we go. 71 degrees in Bainbridge, pretty much throughout the majority of that coastal area, or that Tallahassee area. 72 degrees here in Tallahassee, and going down to 70 degrees in Carabel. So it is very comfortable throughout the majority of Tallahassee region. But now we are going to take it over to the lab with Margaret.
Thanks, Sammy. If you're outside today, you might have noticed that the air smelled a little bit smoky, and we do have that happen a lot during especially the spring and the fall months here in the Tallahassee area, and that's because the Apalachicola National Forest is right out our backyard to our southwest. So that's why I've got Smokey Bear up here reminding us that only we can prevent forest fires. That smoky scent to the air is a controlled or a prescribed burn for the forest. And it's like going to the doctor for your regular checkup. The Forest Service will burn the underbrush in small parts of the forest at a time to make sure that there's no buildup of dead leaves, dead twigs, so that we don't get any major out-of-control wildfires. So the little bit of the smoke irritation that we see is just to help make sure that we don't get any huge wildfires. And you can actually see the one of these controlled burns here on the radar. On the radar, the smoke plume looks a lot like standard rain, but the difference is it stays still. You see the areas that look in yellow will be about the same, coming up from about the same spot, and then it's just these light greens flowing away with the wind direction. And we saw earlier the winds coming from the north, so they're blowing the smoke down out into the Gulf of Mexico right now with that controlled burn. So a little bit of irritation there to help make sure that we don't have any major wildfires occur in our area. So the Apalachicola National Forest, for those of you that might not have known, covers a lot of southwestern Leon County and much of Wakulla County, Gadsden County, Liberty County, really a lot of the rural areas to our west and our south are encompassed in the Apalachicola National Forest, and they've got a lot of great trails out there for any sort of picnicking, camping, hiking. There's a trail going from Woodville down to St. Mark's. It's great to get outside, and it's great weather to get outside across the state of Florida, isn't it, Sarah? Oh, sorry about the technical difficulties there. Little bit of the controlled burn there, make it a little smoky down near St. Mark's, but across the rest of the Big Bend, it's good. We're going to try and send it back out to the wall with Sarah now.
Thanks, Margaret. So right now, currently in the Florida area, we're sitting really nice in the 70s. Miami, though, is getting that rain from, or getting cloud cover from that cold front, seeing those warmer temperatures that we're actually not really seeing up here in the Florida area, up in Tallahassee. 71 in Tallahassee, down closer to my hometown, 74, but down south, we're getting to the 80s and higher 70s down there. So they're seeing a little bit warmer temperatures than we've been seeing here, but pretty nice temperatures around Florida. And as for that 24-hour temperature change, you can see where that cold front is sitting still near South Florida. They're not really seeing much of a temperature change as we are, since our temperatures did cool down pretty drastically. Really, we've been seeing 80s really for the past week, but right now we're in the 70s, which are really nice. I'm enjoying these temperatures, and I'm sure y'all out here at home are enjoying those temperatures too, getting a break from that heat. As for that current dew point, we're in the dry area up in North Florida, into Central Florida as well, but South Florida is seeing still muggy dew points down there, so it's a bit muggy down there at 60 and 70 in Miami, but we're seeing 36 in Tallahassee, and even in Central Florida at 53, so they're seeing pretty dry to comfortable dew points, but unfortunately for South Florida, they're still seeing mugginess. And as for that heat index, you can see we're not really getting much of a heat index since our temperatures did cool, but down in South Florida, they're seeing 82 and 83, so it's really still warm down there as they're still awaiting for that cold front to bring in those cooler temperatures as we go on through the rest of the week. And as for that cold front, it's bringing in that cloud cover, which is slowly moving down south of Florida, which hopefully will give them some cooler temperatures like we are seeing here and up in North and Central Florida, so hopefully we'll see those cooler temperatures down there. But as for the watches and warnings, because of that cold front coming through, we are seeing some small craft advisories. This is in the light purple and also in this tealish blue. Those are rip currents. So if you do go out up into Daytona all the way down to West Palm Beach, if you do go out, so make sure you're careful, make sure there's a lifeguard, and be careful as you go out there with those rip currents out there. But as for tonight's forecast, we're really seeing some nice temperatures. Look at that beautiful gradient of the blue, dark green to light green to yellows, that like really pretty temperature. Tallahassee at 40, down to my hometown at 53, and then Miami finally seeing some of those cooler temperatures at 63. But for tomorrow, look at that lovely yellow of those spring-like temperatures, 73 in Tallahassee, 75 in Tampa, and 79 finally seeing those cooler temperatures. So really nice throughout the area, but for now, we're going to zoom into the Tallahassee area with Margaret for our last local.
Thanks, Sarah. Our last local look here. Current temperatures starting to cool down from what we were seeing earlier today, 70 degrees in Perry. Still warm, St. Mark's as well as Apalachicola, where they're looking at 75. Quincy really cooling down, as well as Thomasville already down to 66 degrees. When you add in a light breeze, it's time to pull those sweaters back out if you started putting them away last week. Not your best plan, and we're back in that sweater weather where it's just a light breeze, so a little bit more than a light breeze here in Tallahassee at 10 miles an hour coming out of the north, bringing more of that cool air in, but still sweater weather with the light breeze there. If you're going out for a walk this evening, it's going to be really nice weather for it otherwise. Our satellite and radar is showing no cloud cover over the southeast. That is all cleared out. A little bit of clouds still over the Florida Peninsula in South Florida between Orlando and Miami with the remnants of that cold front, but otherwise nothing to speak of on the satellite and radar. For this weekend, we've got high pressure in control, which means tonight and into tomorrow morning it's going to get a little chilly. But then tomorrow, the sun will come out. It'll be nice, comfortably warm, especially if you're enjoying that sunshine. Tomorrow night, Sunday morning, we'll get chilly again. So do be prepared for that if you're going out Saturday night or Sunday morning. But on Sunday afternoon, it's going to be really gorgeous. The sun comes out again. It'll be pleasantly warm. A fine day for getting outside, enjoying the, all the great parks that we've got around here, heading out to the FSU sporting events. Tonight's forecast, we're looking at getting down to 40 degrees, which, believe it or not, is about average for Tallahassee for this time of year. We're going to have some very clear skies, which are great for stargazing if you're into that sort of thing. So it's a great time to get out and enjoy that. Tomorrow's forecast, 72 degrees, warming right back up into those nice temperatures. A beautiful day with some really nice temperatures to get outside and really enjoy all the great parks that we've got here around Tallahassee. For the weekend, we've got clear skies. We're back at our seasonal temperatures, so definitely get outside this weekend. 72 is the high for Saturday and Sunday. So maybe stay inside a little bit early in the morning till it warms up into the 50s. But then once it does, get outside and enjoy it because it's going to be gorgeous with that sun there. Monday's going to be another gorgeous day, and enjoy it before Tuesday because we have another cold front approaching on Tuesday. It's going to really drop our temperatures. You see Wednesday, 66 for the high, and Thursday morning, 39 for the low. So do be prepared for the cold weather there. At the end of next week, don't put your sweaters away just because it was hot last week. It's looking really nice.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to enjoy these temperatures. It's a nice week before we get into spring break.
Yep, that'll be spring break weekend next weekend when we see those cooler temperatures. So if you're one of those lucky ducks who doesn't have a Friday class or whose Friday classes got canceled, you won't even have to worry about the cold.
Yeah, definitely. It's really nice temperatures, 70s, and we're seeing some 30s on Sunday and Monday as well, too, really. It's really nice.
And those 30s are really only a couple degrees below our average for this time of year. It's just the fact that we had this crazy hot week last week.
Definitely. And then also be aware of that Tuesday when we do have that rain chance, so make sure you probably bring an umbrella because it was like 70%. So.
Yep, find your umbrellas. If you put them away after the rain earlier this week, find your umbrella, get it back out because it's going to be another rainy day. On Tuesday, your rain boots as well if you're like me and can't stand wet socks.
Yeah, definitely. So make sure you're prepared for that. But enjoy these temperatures as they last before we get into spring break. It's really nice temperatures, so go out and enjoy. Go to the res, go to the sporting events. There's a lot of things you can do around here that, you know,
it's going to be a gorgeous last week of classes before spring break. And if you want to keep updated, follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU Weather.
And also like us on Facebook at /FSU Weather.
We'll be posting our social media on there. You can watch our live shows anytime, youtube.com/FSU Weather/live, and our archive shows.
Yeah, and also follow us on Instagram as well. Send us pictures of spring-like temperatures.
Send us your pictures on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whichever social media platform you prefer. We love to see those pictures, and we might even put them on the show.
Yeah, definitely. But for us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Sarah Converse.
And I'm student meteorologist Margaret Hollis. Have a great night and a great weekend.